What's going on, guys? Jacob over here. Welcome to episode 3 of BrewTalk. And today, the Milwaukee Brewers capped a 5-1 road trip that began this past Monday by beating the Chicago Cubs 6-0. Their third shutout of the Cubs this season and third series win against the Cubs all year long. They have played 3 series against the Cubs, and they have won 3 series against the Cubs. The Brewers, overall, are 13-8. They are atop the NL Central. They have not lost a road series yet. They look great, I'll be honest. At times the offense can look frustrating, but the pitching is, it's dominant, with the exception of the first game against the Cubs in the series where we gave up 15 runs. The pitching has really, really been dominant, and, there have been a lot of guys who have kind of had slow starts who are starting to bounce back a little bit. One of those players is Devin Williams. He looked really good in his inning of work today. He looked really, really good. Like, that airbender was just on point. I think he's really starting to get back into the flow of things, and that's really, really exciting. But yeah, overall, Brandon Woodruff today, 6 innings, no runs allowed, only 2 hits, 2 walks. He looked phenomenal. He looked like Brandon Woodruff. And for the longest time, I've always wanted the Brewers to have, that one pitcher that's just, that dominant ace, that guy who's like, he's on the mound, okay, this should be a win, this should be a game that we win, and typically is a game that you win. And now the Brewers have two of those guys headlining their rotation, Corbin Burnes and Brandon Woodruff. And Corbin Burnes, it's still early, but I really think he's the real deal. He looks phenomenal. I believe he has I think he has 40 Ks and no walks on the season, which is like an MLB record for most strikeouts without a walk to start a season by a starter. That's unbelievable. That's unheard of. He's just a fantastic pitcher. I love watching the guy pitch. He's going to be on the mound tomorrow night against the Marlins, and I'm going to be going to the game on Tuesday, by the way, and the game on Thursday. And I know that might conflict a little bit with the NFL draft on Thursday. I did not know that that draft was going to be on that Thursday when I bought the tickets. So, oh well, I'll still get my draft video up, of course, after the draft, discussing who we picked, whatever. But overall, though, the Brewers, they had that sweep earlier this week against the Padres. They looked really, really good in that sweep too. Especially on the road against a team that's favored to be one of the NL. One of the teams that could come out of the NL and represent the NL in the World Series this year. We looked great, especially that last game against the Padres. Omar Narvaez, he is having himself a year. He had the go-ahead home run in that game. And Manny Pena yesterday had the go-ahead home run in the 7th inning. So the Brewers' catching tandem really, really looks good this year. Narvaez actually, for all his offensive success, you'd think he might not be that great defensively, and in the past he hasn't really been that great defensively, but he's throwing out runners at a 50% rate this year. He looks great throwing the ball for sure. He threw out a runner and a strike him out, throw him out today against the Cubs. He looks on point, in all facets of his game. So Narvaez definitely one of the big stories of the season so far offensively for the Brewers, because having his bat in the lineup producing the way it is, that's huge for this Brewers team. But talking about the injuries on this team, Colton Wong did come back this week, and he is hot. He is getting a lot of hits. He's getting on base at a high rate. He is, the leadoff hitter the Brewers need. But Lorenzo Cain and Christian Yelich still both on the IL. Yelich had an MRI yesterday, I believe, and the results came back today. And apparently there was no news, which means it's good news. There was no structural damage in his back, so I'm hoping that he can return to the lineup soon. I guess it kind of all depends on, how he's feeling day to day, and that's an injury, the back is kind of an injury where it's like one day it might feel great, the other day it might not feel so good. We saw it with Ryan Braun. I'm hoping this does not develop into a chronic issue like Ryan Braun's back did, but, Christian Yelich, he's an invaluable player to this lineup, and he was having an okay start to the season, but you'd love to get him back in there and get him some at-bats, of course, and just so strange, though, how baseball injuries happen like that. One moment, you see you see him out batting like it's normal, and then the next moment, oh, he has to come out from a sore back, and then now he's getting an MRI. So a little bit scary with that, but I do think that he'll return soon and that he will return to his MVP form at some point this season. And then Lorenzo Cain, he should be coming off the IL soon. The news was good with him today, so he's progressing well, and that his return is imminent. So that's the injury news for the Brewers. It's kind of gotten bitten a bit by the injury bug early on, especially with those, three of our best offensive players, Wong, Cain, and Yelich. So, yeah, overall, though, 5-1 road trip. I was really not expecting this road trip to go well for the Brewers, if I'm being honest. I did not expect that sweep against the Padres, and after the first game of this series, I was hoping we could maybe steal one against the Cubs. But to win the last two games and win the first three series against the Cubs, that's huge. I mean, the division rival Cubs, the NL Central really hasn't been that great outside of the Brewers this year. But if the Cubs, keep those bats hot, and they have been hot lately, with the exception of today's game, they could give us a run for our money. Same with the Cardinals, same with the Reds. So it's definitely going to be a race, I think, but we'll see what happens going forward. So anyways, guys, that's all I got to say in this video. Hope you guys really, really enjoyed. I will be getting out my draft preview video, or at least draft predictions video, at some point before the draft this week. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Go Brewers.